Greetings, YouTube. Happy Friday. There is so much to talk about in this Friday. I'll do my best to cover every issue in this video. Of course, we're going to start off talking about the tone-deaf offers of today's deal. It has been a terrible 48 hours for Kabam. The Act 6 announcement was pretty much greeted unanimously by the community with, at best, disgust and at worst, threats of lawsuits. You have people feeling like they invested in champs that they can't use. It's like buying a car you can't drive to work. And they are furious. And I'm still hearing from them and will continue to hear from them until this situation is at least directly addressed, because Kabam's also been silent on it, which is another tone-deaf move. Then yesterday, you're thinking, maybe they're going to throw us a crazy good offer, like a 5-star Awakening Gem opportunity, or maybe, I don't know, some cheap Tier 5 basic Catalyst fragments or Tier 2 alphas. Nope. We got an app-exclusive bundle for the OG Captain Marvel, or the champion that so many people have that should have gotten a buff, but instead we got a new champion type, a new skin, as some call her, instead. And then today, the offer is even more tone deaf than it is for us from last time, 24 hours ago, because this is again for the OG one, the inferior one, the one that we're not supposed to be thinking about, because as a reminder, as of yesterday at noon Central Standard Time, you weren't supposed to be thinking about the Captain Marvel that already came into your roster. You're supposed to be thinking about the new one that they're trying to ask you to pay 300 units if you're a Grand Master, or if you're not uncollected, at least spend good old 150 units for to try to get the 4-star version. But the marketing in this has never been worse. If I was to teach a marketing class at Oklahoma State, I would use this 48-hour window as a case study of what not to do if you are trying to not only make money and turn a profit, but also have the faith and trust of the community that has been loyal to you for years, while you have done some very, very shady things that, without the community really holding your feet to the fire, from patch 12.0 to overheating issues, to lag issues, to server issues, to now artificial intelligence being randomly sped up to silently nerf the best damage output champion of 2018. By the way, Kabam has officially responded to some of you who have sent in tickets, and it's so clever, right? It's so freaking clever. It makes my stomach churn, because they didn't touch Ghost. So they can respond to you and be like, hey, we looked into it, and we can assure you that Ghost has not been nerfed. Nothing has been done to change her abilities. Well, of course, you haven't touched Ghost. You've touched the artificial intelligence in the defenders that you use when you go up against those champions with Ghost. Because if you can manipulate the artificial intelligence to speed up or even anticipate movements like phasing to either dash back or even parry, then, well, I guess you just got to get better at the game, I guess. Actually, it turns into, well, you just shouldn't make those mistakes. You suck. And for somebody like Ghost, who already took a couple weeks to kind of learn how to play, because I think most would say she's the most complicated champion in terms of you can't just get her and immediately know how to use her. It really takes some practice. Now, unless you're playing it perfectly, and when you've got the Ghost Jesus of the community, Panda Man Pete, saying, look, I can still fight with her, but it definitely is not the same, and I can see why people are so upset, you know they done screwed up. So, all of this is to say, first and foremost, these deals are an insult to the community. We know that we can't even bring 4 stars into Act 6 now. And on top of that, it's the same price we've been seeing for the legendary one, $40. Now, the only difference is you only get to buy one of them, where before they actually had some suckers limit 3 when you could spend $120 on them. And this is still the same drop rate, just 20% to get Captain Marvel. And I just have to say, if you get a 5-star Captain Marvel, especially unawakened, that's a waste of $40. You're not going to be doing anything with that champion to clear content. And even if you get her awakened, you're telling me that you'd rather have an awakened Captain Marvel than an awakened Hyperion or awakened Medusa or an Awakened Corvus, even Unawakened Corvus. There are so many better champions now. The Cosmic class, if this was 2017 or 2016 and your Cosmic class was filtered with mostly Groots or superior Iron Mans, then I can see why this bundle would be good. But you have either a 4-star Captain Marvel or a 5-star Captain Marvel. But even the 5-star isn't going to be game-changing, and 80% of people are going to spend $40 to get a 4-star Captain Marvel because there's nothing else in this crystal. As you can see, there's just 2 options, a 5-star or a 4-star. Now, you can't bring the 4-star in to Act 5, so if you spend $40, you're just lighting it on fire. You do get 1,000 5-star shards and a 30% champion boost. But if they wanted to be fair to the community, they would have cut this price in half to $20 because $20 is about what you would expect to pay for a very average at best 4-star bundle. And so to have a $20 floor of a 4-star but to still get 3 greater champion boosts and 1,000 5-star shards is completely fair. You're paying for the gamble, but you have enough guaranteed items in return when you inevitably don't get the 5-star that it's okay. But the ceiling of this 5-star is still not great. If you told me, hey, I just bought this, spent $40 and awakened my Captain Marvel, should I take her up to rank 4? No, you shouldn't. Maybe rank 3, but most likely keep her at rank 2. Oh man, well, I wish I had my $40 back. I do too. That's why we're making this video now. Okay, so that is part 1 of this video. But part 2 is a much more interesting part because part 2 involves a memorandum, very fancy word for all summoners. Be advised, we have been informed that from March 8th to March 9th, there'll be 24-hour featured hero crystals and Grandmaster featured hero crystals cycled through the vault. However, these crystals will have been randomized, so summoners are being asked to keep each other advised when the chance to acquire desirable champions appears. This presents a unique opportunity for summoners to greatly expand their rosters. Utilize hashtag MCOC roster on social media. I guarantee you that hashtag is not going to be what people expect. If you pull that 3-star Groot, you're going to be tweeting it out, but it is not going to be a positive. This is an attempt for Kabam to get some of their PR back. So they know they've been taking a hit in the last 48 hours with the mistakes that they've made. And so companies routinely will try to have a social media campaign to try to get some energy back. But normally it backfires. McDonald's did this a few years ago, and people were hashtag tweeting about like the most disgusting pictures you'd ever seen. And it backfired. In fact, they had to pull the campaign. They spent probably millions of dollars coming up with this campaign that utterly failed. And so when you tweet hashtag MCOC roster, anybody that gets a 4-star now, even if it's a good 4-star, you could tweet that, and it's not a good thing, right? It's a, hey, kabam, I can't bring this person in for synergies or attack now thing. Now, they are trying to tempt you because we've managed to get a list of champions, which will be appearing, presented in alphabetical order. Aegon, Archangel Blade, Captain America Infinity War, Corvus, Dr. Voodoo, Domino, Dormammu, Emma Frost, Ghost, Hyperion, Iceman, Iron Man, Infinity War, Killmonger, Korg, Magic, Medusa, Omega Red, Sabretooth, Spider-Man, Stark in Hand, Star-Lord, the Champion, Thor Ragnarok, and Void. Okay, so those are some of the best champions in the game and Thor Ragnarok. So those are pretty amazing list of champions, but it says the featured hero crystals in the event have a 5% chance of a 4-star champion, which, who cares? You can't bring them in Act 6 anyway. The Grandmaster featured hero crystals in this event have a 5% chance of a 5-star champion. Crystals will be rotating every hour, not repeating appearances. Acquire your favorites while you can. All right, so let me go ahead and interpret this how they don't want you to interpret this. First off, it says Grandmaster featured hero crystals are not exclusively locked to uncollected summoners for this period. All summoners can spin their units on this. Gang, what is Kabam hoping you do? They're hoping that you get that 5% chance for that champion and you drain your units. Drain your units before Act 6 so you don't have them when you need them with the BS content that's going to come out, especially those new drain your wallet nodes. And of course, the limited roster for so many people who still don't have great 5-stars. I've heard from so many people. If you're watching this and you're like, look, I only have a 4-star Ghost Rider, I have a 5-star Blade and a 5-star Stark Spidey, but only a 4-star Ghost Rider, can't use that synergy anymore, just know you're not alone. A lot of people, especially when it comes to synergy teams of like 3, like even like say Sabretooth, Killmonger, and Void, one of those is a 4-star. So a lot of people are hurting. And if you pull that 4-star MCOC roster, you're not going to be happy. I think between this garbage dumpster fire slap in the face, hey, you have 31 days to look at this steaming pile of trash in your inbox. $40. Even if you get the 5-star, not worth $40. And then we're not even going to discuss the right side. You have a 20% chance to get the 4-star, which you can't use. I hate those bundles so much. It literally it triggers my marketing annoyance. But on top of that, special 24-hour live event to have you drain your units before Act 6. Don't fall for it. And dare I say, hashtags are hashtags for a reason. So if you do have a terrible crystal alert, hey, still tweet MCOC roster on social media to alert other summoners when your preferred champion's crystal is spotted. Or just use the hashtag for anything, like hashtag can't bring this champion to future content, thanks Kabam. Because social media campaigns are always a risk for companies, but after 48 hours that Kabam has had, this is what they came up with? Yeah, the list of champs is great, but unless you get that 5-star, and you're still only having a 5% chance, which is not that high, you're going to get a champion you can't use for Act 6. Not even for synergies. I don't see why they would do this. Either way, I'm looking right through it, and I'm saying, keep it at 100, as they say. And that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. It is Friday failure for Kabam. At least that's how I interpret it.